Hello everybody, welcome back, and in this episode we're going to go over how to build a Froglight and Magma Cream farm. So this is the custom design that the Mechanic 87 from Zetacraft and myself designed up for the Zetacraft server. So each one of these layers is a radius from the center of the Iron Golem 16 blocks, because that is the max a magma cube can visually get aggressive towards an Iron Golem or a player. So the whole diameter of these circles is 32 blocks. And on this top one we have a glass-like layer, which is normally used to, not have magma cubes spawn, but it's to keep them from jumping out of here and dying from falling. And around each Iron Golem we have these iron bars to keep them from getting hit and from magma cubes landing on top. So this keeps the Iron Golems safe, so you don't have to come and repair or create new Iron Golems. And between each layer it is 3.5 blocks, because each magma cube, I think to get the taller magma cubes, you need 3 blocks. So 3.5 blocks basically covers that, and these are slabs, so they go onto the top half of a block, which is a spawning platform, which is exactly what we want. And now down here what we have are 9 frogs, 3 of each color. You can do whatever color you like, and this pretty much is just where the mega cubes spawn. So frogs inherently do no damage to the large or medium magma cubes, but snow blocks will allow pretty much the magma cubes to freeze to death, basically. They basically freeze, the large and mediums freeze, but the small ones will not freeze until the frogs eat them and then poop out the Froglights. So the frogs are on top of trapdoors so they don't get stuck by the trapdoors, but it's also to make sure that the magma cubes still continuously get hit, whether they are large or medium, by the powdered snow there. And we probably could have went with a hopper minecart or a couple hopper minecarts down below to collect all of the items, but we went with just lines of hoppers to pretty much just make it easier for us to deal with. And all of the items flow into 3 droppers to not have super backup of items basically into 1 dropper. Otherwise there might be a backlog of items, because the amount of items that this thing generates is insanity. Now to turn the droppers on, you have to come over to this platform and basically just flip this lever and it turns the whole thing on. But to reduce the noise right now, I'll leave it off. So pretty much once you flip this lever, this piston pushes forward, activating this observer, which activates a redstone pulse into this slime block, and it starts a cycle of pulses pretty much. So single pulse goes through, and with that should be like this, missing redstone. With that pulse, it turns on a comparator clock pretty much, which when this is turned on, it will always have this activated, which then activates all of these observer clocks to pretty much always activate these droppers. And these observers go into these blocks to allow the droppers to only be the only block activated, because otherwise if these observers go into these droppers, there's a potential that they activate these hoppers, which basically blocks the hoppers, which is not what we want. And after we activate it, there's a second pulse that goes down this way and comes down here. So from here it splits in 2 different directions. One goes this way, one goes that way. So going this way, it activates these 3 pistons, but this first one gets activated first and then goes to this one and goes to this one. And pretty much all these do is it pushes the items towards the center. So items drop from the dropper down here, get pushed this way, and so on. And same with this side. So the timings of all of these repeaters are set to be basically perfectly in time. So when those two get activated, then those two, and then that one. And once that's activated, right there, it pushes all of the items this way. Get a better view this way. Over here, and we have basically these lines of chests, because otherwise the items won't get pushed correctly over. And because of that, we need to have this piston to push up to allow an item collection system of some sorts because of how low this is. But because of the chest, we need to have another piston right here to push the items back out. So pretty much items come this way, get launched up, and then get knocked over this way, go back down, and then up again. Now that I think about it, if we remove these chests with blocks, it might actually work better. So actually, replacing those chests with blocks actually fixes the problem I was having before. All the items move as intended much faster. So we don't need those lines of chests. Actually, this works much better. And all this does is, as I said just a minute ago, or just a couple seconds ago, piston pushes up, and then the reason we need to push the items up is because we need to have some sort of collection system. And the collection system is basically just a tileable shulker loader filter system. So once the items come up, get pushed over, and then pushed again along this, it's your standard impulse SV item sorter, but then it goes into this tileable shulker loader system, which will be in the description below because I can't quite remember who made it, but the designer will be in the description as I find their video. And pretty much items come down, get loaded. Once this is changed, so if we do F3, we can see the power level is only 14, but this is 15. So when this gets to a once this is fully up, this turns into a, I believe 15 output, and then this changes to 15 from 14, which then activates this, which then activates this, which then turns this on and pushes outwards, and it's a whole lot of crazy. So with the farm on, we can see what actually happens. So magma cubes go over, and if they're big enough, they actually get hit. But they eventually all fall down here into the frogs. And then the items, as this is turned on, make their way down. So again, we can see the timing of these pistons is like perfect, because if anything is off, that stuff gets stuck together, and that's not what we want. As the items get pushed over, they go up here, and just like that. It's pretty easy. And if all of this gets filled up and all of your shulkers are filled up or whatnot, then all extra items get pushed into the cactus. And you can replace this with lava if you so wish, or any other type of block destroying thing. But this needs to be here, otherwise you'll have frog lights out the wazoo backing up at some point, because the frog lights is insane. So after about 30 minutes, we can see that for each frog light, it's basically about 2,200 items per hour. That is a lot of frog lights, but for magma cream, it's only 765, which is not that much. Now, you could increase the rates for all of everything. So you can increase the rates for frog lights and for the magma cream if you put more frogs in. So there's only 9 frogs in here. And if you want more of one color, you add more white, orange, and green, depending what you want. But honestly, 9 is pretty good. The only thing is that for the filters, I only have 2 of each color at the moment. If you want to have more, you can. You don't really need more than 1 magma cream because again, there's only 750 per hour. So it's not really that much. But the farm does pretty good. It's a pretty solid farm for, you know, a pretty custom design. All of the timings will work on a server as I run this on Zetakraft literally all of the time. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Oh, it's phantom block. Phantom items. Yep. Oh well. They don't actually get stuck there. It's just a phantom item. Yeah, it's just a glitch with the game. But I run this on Zetakraft all the time. No issues whatsoever running this farm. So this will work on a fairly busy server. Because at times Zetakraft has like 15 people on and it still runs smooth as butter. So if you want to download this farm, it will be in the description below. And if you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.